Tell us what's going on in Green Bay. All right, we know what Mark Murphy said, and I get what he's saying, but I wanted you on because I want you to tell me what the fans are thinking. You do a show out there, you have your pulse, your finger on the pulse of the fans. He says Aaron Rodgers divided the fan base. Yeah, maybe, but how vitriolic is it? Is it loud? A golfer, is it just kind of like, he shouldn't have said that, we want him back? Like, what is it actually with the fans and Aaron Rodgers?
I think before the interview he did with Kenny Mayne, people were, they were stuck in their corner, and that's what Murphy meant by the fan base has kind of split up. You're an Aaron Rodgers fan, or you think that the organization is treating him unfairly. And then after that interview, people got a little confused on the call-ins on the Big Show Network, the one I'm on every day.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, wait a minute now. We don't necessarily know what it is. And then the Julio Jones thing happened. And then they're thinking, well, I understand now. If you really want to be out, just look into a camera or tweet or say, listen, I want to be traded. I don't like some of the things that are going on, and I like to go somewhere else. Because once a guy asks to be traded, then the team has to act.
Yeah.
But if they don't have to do anything if he doesn't ask for a trade.
So do you think, Leroy, that Aaron Rodgers does want to be traded? I know he said it, or at least he hasn't said anything. It's been intimated through his intermediaries or somebody close to whatever. Who knows how it actually got out? But he doesn't want to be there. He's never going to show up unless Brian Gutekunst gets fired. Like, what does Aaron actually want?
And see, that's the confusing thing about it, Tiki. I don't know. I haven't talked to him. I don't know. I'm just going by my speculation, as most people are. There's no way he wants to be traded, because if you look at the legacy of what are you trying to accomplish, you got to do it with the Green Bay Packers. And maybe I'm biased with that, but because most teams, if they have to give up a lot of stuff to get you, they're not winning the Super Bowl. Your best chance to beat Tom Brady is with Green Bay. I mean, the payback should be in the motivation to be beating Tom Brady. The guy came to your place and won a game. And now you're playing him in this golf tournament, and he still trolls you and say you didn't go for it.
Yeah.
That's your motivation. So I just don't know. But sooner or later, I think it will get fixed. He will be in training camp next month.
Yeah, Leroy Butler joining us here, former Green Bay Packer, obviously a great safety in the league. And I agree with you. I don't think Aaron, he's 37 years old. I mean, he's not going someplace else and starting new. And a lot of people will point to Tom Brady, the example you were just bringing up. Well, Tom Brady did it with, the left New England, went to Tampa Bay, but Tom Brady was a free agent. Tampa gave up Ugats. They gave up nothing to get Tom Brady. You know what I mean? He just stepped right into it. If the Green Bay Packers were, let's just say, and for whatever reason it does happen, he's not there, going forward, is there confidence in Jordan Love? I mean, obviously you have to. He says he's going to be ready, and you have no choice, but to actually give him a shot. But is there confidence in Jordan Love to put this Packers team right where Aaron Rodgers has had them for the last couple of seasons?
It's through the roof, and I'll tell you why, Tiki, because he has a fan base that is ready to move on from the drama stuff of it, and they're ready to either support him or they're ready to be a Super Bowl contender. But I think for the most part, the stress level of the Matt LaFleur to know that he's never really going to get the accolades of a great coach as long as Aaron Rodgers is there. They're not going to find out how good he really is until Jordan Love is the quarterback.
Yeah.
So if you had to ask the coach in a dark room with a light on you and say, what do you really think? He's like, listen, I'm a coach, whoever's in the building. But at the same time, Jordan Love is getting an opportunity, Tiki, to be a leader now because he's the quarterback there. I know Blake Bortles is there. But I think for the most part, he's there for insurance. If something goes wrong with the kid, but you drafted him for a reason, so let's find out how good he is.
Yeah, no, you make an interesting point there, Leroy, because as long as Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback, no matter how good LaFleur is, he could be the greatest coach in the history of the coaching. But if Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback, everybody's going to say, well, Aaron Rodgers had a great year. It wasn't the play calling, it wasn't everything else. So it's almost like he's in an odd space because if he has success with Jordan Love, do we forget about Aaron Rodgers? What do we do? Because there was a little bit of a slide. You know this, Leroy, just like I do. Those last couple of years before LaFleur, it's a little bit of a slide there. Part of it was health. Part of it was just, I don't know, play calling or who knows what else was going on. When LaFleur got there, things changed, man. 26 wins in 2 years is a huge deal. I know deep down you said he won't mind if Aaron goes, but if he does this help Matt LaFleur's ideal of himself as a head coach?
I think it will, but I think Matt LaFleur also understands that if he wants to be put in that position to be one of the greatest coaches ever, people are going to look at you and judge you and say, what you did? How many games did you win with Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
I just think for a legacy point, if Aaron Rodgers wins a Super Bowl with the Packers, not only will he leapfrog Brett Favre in this organization and be the second best of all time, Bart Starr, I think, is the number one, but he'll be putting the legacy of all the quarterbacks that was one and done with championships. And he'll go down, and some people may argue that he's the GOAT if he wins another championship. It just solidifies your legacy, and I'm really hoping and truly hoping that he's a Green Bay Packer, because as long as he's in that jersey and getting dressed, the Packers are a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, I think you're right. We're talking to Leroy Butler. His show, also an Odyssey product, so we're peers again. It's called The Big Show on the Big Show Network. It's Steve Pfeiffer, and Gary Ellison. That's every day. Leroy is good enough to join us after his show. So, Leroy, let me get back to Mark Murphy's comments. What is he trying to do? Like, what is he? Is he just trying to be funny? Is he just being flippant? Like, what's he actually trying to do? Because I don't see the point.
I think it's a combination of both, because he actually quoted Ted Thompson and said, Ted said, hey, man, a few guys, but, Aaron in particular is a complicated guy. And some people kind of tied it in. It really didn't move the needle in Wisconsin because, you're thinking, well, it's okay, because it is complicated because you don't really know what he wants.
Yes.
If he said, listen, I want to be traded, I want out, or, I want to stay, but I want to have some things fixed along the way that you would know. So it is a little complicated. It came kind of weird timing because Murphy was on the record saying that he hope both parties don't say a whole lot of anything. Well, Aaron Rodgers hadn't said anything, and then he said that Murphy says this. So it was kind of weird in a way, but again, it didn't move the needle because people just either want it fixed or let's just move on and let's start the correction. Every team goes through a correction. You win all these games. Next thing you know, look at New England Patriots. Tom Brady left. They're 7-9, and guess what, Tiki? They spend $159 million in free agency.
So that's right.
People are ready to let go in one direction.
Yeah, no, it's frustrating. I know this has got to feel like a long off season in Green Bay, and we're still a month away before training camp, right? It's like, why are we talking about things that don't even matter? So let's get to the things that do matter. Is this team, let's see, quarterback notwithstanding, is this team ready for that step? I mean, look, they exceeded my expectations. When LaFleur came in, I wasn't sure what to expect. He didn't have a huge, background pedigree of being a successful coordinator. And so I was like, what do I expect? Then they win 13 games. And Aaron Rodgers wasn't like a superstar. He was really good. He wasn't a superstar. And so maybe this thing has a chance. 2 years in a row, the team feels like it's solid, right? They put some money in free agency over the last couple of years. They have talent on both sides of the ball. Is this team ready to take that next step? And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are obviously the nemesis because the Tampa's going to be good again. But is this team ready? Do you think it is?
Yeah, no question about it. I think this is a good team. If they have to go into the season with a second-year quarterback like Jordan Love, they can win games. Yeah, that's why with Aaron Rodgers, they're a Super Bowl contender. And I think for the most part, though, if you got a running game with Aaron Jones, I know David Bakhtiari, one of the best left tackles, was out. They'll get him back at some point. They're trying to get the offensive line together. Devontae Adams is, one of the top 2 wide receivers. And the defense was a top 9 defense. And they have a new defensive coordinator, Joe Barry, that came over from the Rams. So the team is solid. They're just missing the quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why Tampa brought all 22 of their starters back to say, you know what? This thing is easy. It gets even easier, Tiki, if Aaron Rodgers is not in the NFC or not playing. So who benefits? that Tampa Bay they benefit because you got a split screen of Aaron Rodgers, just sitting down in Hawaii. Then you got the other screen. Tom Brady coach told him not to come to camp. He shows up anyway and had knee surgery.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah, that is. So it's perception of it more than anything, but it's also just
exactly.
What are the players thinking about this? I don't know if you've had any chance to talk to any of them, but what is their take on this? We saw that the wide receivers. I mean, it was reported as in solidarity with Aaron Rodgers, didn't show up for the voluntary offseason, but they did show up for the mandatory mini camp. What are the players? What's their take on this? As in, I mean, if I was a player then I'd be like, dude, can this just go away? Like, why are we talking about this?
Well, and you've been in the locker room, Tiki. We spend more time with your teammates than your wives sometimes. So
right.
You really look at it as a family. And some guys in their 30s, they say, listen, get your business together. Hey, I don't need you until really September. But the young guys like the Stokes, first-round pick from Georgia, the corner, he's probably confused.
Yeah.
Amari Rodgers, Clemson, third-round pick, wide receiver. And then you look at some guys like Bunches, who wasn't there last year. He's trying to get in the way he fits in. He's probably frustrated with the fact that they don't really have everybody in camp. And he wants to get chemistry with one of the quarterbacks, and he's hoping it would be Aaron Rodgers. So the guys are somewhere between, listen, it'll work out, and just tell us what you want to do. Just tell us. Make it crystal clear, like, Julio Jones did. Listen, I'm out of there. And they put him in Tennessee. So I think the players just don't want to be confused by it. And it is hard for these guys to answer these questions because at some point you got to support your guy, your brother, but then you also got to look at the employer who pays you the checks.
Yeah,
so it's
that's right.
An odd place to be.
Yeah, it is. It is a very tough place to be. We're talking to Leroy Butler, who is obviously a great NFL player, and he's the host of a show called The Big Show on the Big Show Network. It's an Odyssey product, just like our show is. Last one before I let you go, Leroy. I feel like this Green Bay Packers team has so much opportunity to be really good. And if Aaron Rodgers comes back, I mean, forget it. They're going to be right back in the conference championship game, at least fighting for it again. What are in your mind? Is it? And we heard this early. Maybe somebody speculated about it. There is I don't think there's any way. But do you think there's a way? Aaron Rodgers just says, forget it. I'm walking away. I'm retiring from the game. I'm getting married. I'm having a good time playing golf, going to Hawaii, traveling the world, doing all these things publicly, which he really hasn't ever done before. You think he walks away at any point?
I think it's zero chance. And when Barry Sanders did it in Megatron, they were in Detroit, so people gave them a pass because they were losing a lot of games. But very rarely that a guy leaves at the top of his game in his prime unless you want a championship like, Elway and some of these other guys. I've won it enough. I'm done. I went out on a good note. But to go out on a note like this is something that can damage your legacy. And you don't want to do that. It'll like, I took my ball and then went home. I think he will be back. It's just like any argument out there. If anybody listening, you had an argument. Sometimes you say things you don't really mean. At the end of the day, you come back and you tell your spouse, I'm sorry, I really didn't mean that. But you have to be prepared for that. The significant other to say, listen, you were right. I should have told you about Jordan Love. I've offered you more money. I gave you everything, and you're still mad. And then you have to wonder, what am I mad about?
Yeah.
And that's when you come on back to camp.